What's the backstory with Carlos Hardy? Yeah.
Hello everybody, thank you so much for joining me and welcome to What is the Backstory. We're going to change it up just a little bit, so if you don't mind, go ahead and subscribe or like and comment after you see the video. I'm pretty sure you're going to like what you see. Let's get to it. I've bitten my tongue for a long time and tried not to get involved in a lot of the political and also the popular comments or popular stories that you may see on TMZ or any kind of network or broadcast station. But now I want to comment. And so we're going to talk about the Gayle King and Snoop Dogg situation. Okay, so let's start at the beginning. You all know who Gayle King is. She's a anchor for CBS morning news, but also she's the best friend of Oprah, and she has been in broadcasting, I would say, for the about maybe 30 years or so, and she's been doing her job successfully up until she had a snag the last couple months. And you're probably wondering, why are you doing this story now, Carlos? And it's because I don't do things when other people do them. I do things on my own time, and you'll begin to realize that as you join and subscribe to my channel. But getting back to Gayle King, so we know exactly who she is. Okay, she's a mother. She has 2 kids. She works at CBS Morning News, and she seems like a person with a some type of conscious of people, society, life, spirit. She seems this way, right? That's what I thought too. So bear with me. So pretty much she did an interview with Lisa Leslie, and Lisa Leslie, she was prodding and poking at Lisa Leslie to answer a specific question about the late Kobe Bryant's allegations of rape. And for most of us, as people watching, I'm just talking about his pure fans. I'm not talking about black, white, Hispanic, but I'm talking about his pure fans were appalled by that question about the onslaught of the incessant questioning the incessant questioning that she had or that she was putting toward Lisa Leslie. And for most of us, it just wasn't the right time. So in our mind, we all band together against Gayle for doing exactly what she was doing in that moment, which was prodding and trying to turn his death into what I call a circus. And it was very disheartening, and it was very, very unprofessional. To me, to you, it could have been something different, but to me, it was very unprofessional for her to take that tone at that time. Okay, so now Snoop gets involved. Okay, so Snoop Dogg gets on his Instagram, and he called her a specific name and called her out her name and said some things. And most of us, not all, but most of us agree with his assessment, agree with his aggressive wording toward her. But then there was a lot of us who said that he went too far. Okay, so for me personally, I think Snoop was coming from a place of hurt, coming from a place of pain, but also was coming from a place that was his brother, his friend, and he had known Kobe for years. So they did a lot of things together. So he just wasn't just going after Gayle King just to go after her. And for some of you guys that are thinking, I would think that even if the anchor or the interviewer was another color, another race, a man or woman, I think Snoop Dogg would have had that same type of release, verbal onslaught if it had been someone else. So it didn't matter. So let's get back to the point. So you have Gayle saying this, and then you have Snoop saying this. So they they kind of intersected in they intersected in their thoughts. So a lot of people were asking for Snoop to apologize for his comment, and a lot of people were asking for Gayle to apologize for her comments based on what she was alleging and how she was pushing Lisa to say something that maybe she didn't agree with, which I thought was, the wrong thing to do at the time. So in my mind, this is what I thought. I thought, Gayle, you are mother of a young man and a young lady. What if the shoe was on the other foot and something had happened to maybe a friend of yours? I'm talking about a close friend, and someone came to you to try to defend that friend. I don't think you would have been a journalist at that time. I think you would have been a little more empathetic to your friends' emotions or their feelings, and that's just my opinion about it. But then you have to take the other side of it. To me, was journalism, and when you are on television or you're in any type of media, there's this journalistic integrity that you have to carry, meaning you have to stay somewhere in the middle. And if you watch that video of Gayle with Lisa, she wasn't in the middle. She was far to the right of the allegation. And had she stayed in the middle, I think she would have been a little more objective. And for that, she got dragged on Twitter, Instagram, wherever. They just dragged her. And it was unfortunate because, this is a woman, a black woman at that. And you don't want them to be criticized, or I should say scrutinized or crucified in the media like that. But deservingly so, she was, unfortunately. So going back to the journalistic aspect of it, I personally think it was done merely for ratings. And anytime you're chasing a number, chasing a click, chasing ratings, you get situations like that. I mean, you see it all over the internet. You see it all over, here YouTube, or people trying to do a click and bait situation to get more eyeballs. And for some, that's just them selling their soul. And for others, it's just a way of making money. But I really think what got me honestly about that situation with Gayle and Snoop is when Gayle had one of her producers tell her that it will blow over. Well, that let me know that the higher up on her show, particularly, what they thought of the situation and the black culture, that you can do anything or say anything, and in a couple of days it'll be all good and dandy, and people will forget about it. And that's what I personally took from it, which was a bad thing. And I'm just hoping that we can have relevant conversations about this kind of thing. When it happened, just take the L and keep it moving. Don't try to qualify it with some shenanigans about you didn't know and they shouldn't have done that and they shouldn't have edited it that way. No, just take accountability and responsibility for it, and you'll be fine, because people can see your genuine heart through any of the ruckus or any of the mess. So please, if you're ever in that situation, pull it together. Gayle, pull it together. So every time I do a backstory show, I always write something based on what we're talking about, okay? And so today, what if Gayle actually met with Snoop Dogg, okay? What if she had a conversation with him? What did that conversation sound like? What did it appear to be, okay? So, I'm a writer, so I'm writing. So I wrote something, for the backstory. I wrote something about their meeting after that conversation where they went back and forth online on the internet. And so I took it upon myself, grabbed my pen, and I began to write something. And I hope you enjoy it, and we'll talk about it on the other side. This is when Gayle King finally meets Snoop Dogg after the incident. Check it out. It's 7 in the evening. A burgundy SUV pulls up to the CBS television building. The car crossed toward a pot-bellied, short, overzealous security guard. The tinted windows descends. The guard is met with a cloud of smoke to the face. It's painfully obvious he disapproves of the onslaught on his lungs. His coughs are short-lived as he covers his mouth, hoping to cease the attack. "What are you here to see?" The guard bellows with authority, never taking his eye off the driver. The driver's face is partially covered in a protective mask. "We are here to see Miss King." "Straight ahead, sir." The guard motions with a finger. Moments later, the car door abruptly opens. Out struts Grammy-winning rapper Snoop Dogg. He tosses his partially used joint to the ground in protest, knowing it's forbidden in the building. Within seconds, Snoop strolls past a receptionist. She never makes eye contact with him. She only points down the elongated hallway. "The last door on the left, sir," she spouts with an awkwardness in her delivery. Once Snoop strolls past the woman's desk, she immediately immerses herself in a phone call. "Yes, it's going down, honey. Snoop is here." Snoop continues up the hall, purposely ignoring the corny morning show photos aligning the walls. He's definitely not impressed, turning up his nose with ease. Rubbing elbows with the high and powerful has been his civility for the better part of his adult life, and today won't be an exception. Snoop cautiously creeps to the end of the hall. He glances around the empty office space, constantly wondering where the office staff may be. "This bitch is empty," he whispers to himself. He nervously stands at the threshold at the end of the hall. He adjusts his Zelly sunglasses before his hands can reach the knob. The door abruptly opens. A man in a dark suit with sunglasses and an earpiece meets the celebrated rapper with a not-so-welcoming glare. The guard cautiously steps to the side, allowing Snoop an eyeful of a shaken Gayle King sitting on a couch near a massive panoramic window. She buries her body within the folds of the couch. Snoop's eyes glance over at the rattled TV host, then randomly at the delicious New York skyline above his head. The standoff for security has come to an end. The burly security guard steps aside, his eyes pleasantly fawning over the rapper's gold-encrusted Rolex. Snoop shrugs off the adulation before walking to the glass coffee table that separates him and Gayle. Gayle's eyes locks with the guard, hoping that he gets the hint to stay, but he exits the room anyway. Gayle pours a cup of tea. Her nervous jitters force the tea to spill onto the glass table. Snoop gazes at the puddle of green liquid, then back at Gayle. "Well, can I sit down?" he asks with a thunderous blare erupting from his core. "Sure," she says with concern driving her response. Snoop lifts both hands in surrender. "Gayle, I'm not going to hurt you." She places the cup onto the saucer. "Why would I think that?" "I think the security guard carrying the 9mm under his coat says it all." Gayle motions for the rapper to sit. "I'm sorry. Have a seat." The jumpy TV host shifts her coat from the couch to the nearby chair. She purposely thought placing it there would help keep a comfortable distance from her and the rapper. "So go on," Snoop says with aggravation creeping into his tone. "I just want to apologize to you, Snoop." "I'm not the one you need to be apologizing to, Gayle. That shit was foul." "I apologized publicly. What more do you people want from me?" Snoop tears himself from the plush couch. "You people? You one of us, Gayle? I know you don't think you are, but you are." "I don't even know what that means, Snoop." "It means you're black." Gayle suddenly finds her voice. Her shoulders lift firmly. A weight has seemingly shifted. "I have a job to do, Snoop, and I'm a journalist, and I ask tough questions." "No, you ask dumbass questions, Gayle. I'm trying to be respectful." "Oh, you mean when you called me a funky dog-headed bitch?" "I was being nice, Gayle." "No, you were being who you've always been, Snoop." "Gayle, if I don't protect us, who's going to protect us? You owe Kobe's wife an apology." A lingering hush settles within the room. Gayle turns, watching clouds of smoke disseminate outside her window. She finally drifts back into the present. She roars loudly with conviction at the root of her statement. "I owe you nothing." "Is there anything else, Snoop?" The door abruptly burst open. Her security has returned, this time with backup. The three guards quickly surround Snoop. "Is this what it's come to, Gayle?" Gayle lifts from the couch. Walking past Snoop, she turns back, whipping her hair purposely against his face. "It ain't personal. It's just business. I have a show to run, Calvin." Within seconds, Snoop lunges at the TV host before a heated scuffle entails. I hope you enjoyed that. I always thought about, because I know Snoop said I guess he spoke with her over the phone. You know me and my imagination, I start to write up some madness because that's what I do. I write. But I hope they resolved that situation. I hope they got it under control, because we need someone in that powerful position like Gayle has to be an ally to people of color communities, disenfranchised communities, with great storytelling to improve the narrative in those communities. So let's hope that's happening. But like I said before, I love to write. I hope you enjoyed it. And I just want to give you a tip of the day for all those of you who are writers and are writing, novels or scripts or music or whatever. Tip of the day, editor. Okay? Always have an editor on hand, someone that is in that profession that absolutely loves to edit work. I mean, grammar, punctuation, sentencing, and be able to format your work. Okay, so that's the tip of the day. I'll be back with more stories. I'm changing what's the backstory a little bit because I want to talk to you personally, and I want to be able to have a conversation with you one-on-one so we can get this done. Remember, subscribe. Remember, give me a comment or like. Let me know what you thought about the Snoop Dogg story when he met Gayle King that I wrote there. Just let me know what you think. There's some more stories to come. I'm going to be going back in history to find some stuff. I'm going to be going to the future to find some things. Trust me, my mind, my imagination is endless. I'm just letting you know. So you're gonna be witnessing some craziness. So, but I do thank you so much for choosing me and choosing my click on the link to check out this video. I appreciate it. Just give me a comment, and I thank you so much. Until next time, this has been What is the Backstory? I'm Carlos Hardy. Peace.
What's the backstory with Carlos Hardy? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Don't forget to subscribe.